Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. So today I want to do a quick video about cryptocurrency and give you my 2 cents on the issue. Cryptocurrency is a zero-sum game. Cryptocurrency should not be confused with the stock market. A lot of people are playing it as though it is, and it's really just a game. It's gambling is what it is. Now, I've been dabbling with crypto for the past couple months. Not in any serious amounts, just kind of testing the waters a little bit. And what I can tell thus far is that, number one, it is a zero-sum game, meaning that if you win, somebody else inevitably loses. If you buy low and sell high, and the price goes down as a result, somebody else lost out. It's not like the stock market where you can invest in a stock and it can be valued at a higher price when that stock or that company starts performing better. It is to an extent, because these cryptocurrencies are used for different types of transactions, and there's transaction fees and things of that nature, which do add to its practical value. But in many cases, people treat it as though it's a rock hard investment, when by and large it can be so easily manipulated. So here's what I've seen, and maybe somebody can help me out on this. It seems as though what you can easily do to manipulate this market is to take $10 million, buy $10 million worth of Bitcoin. Immediately you're going to see a price jump overall in terms of the amount of how much Bitcoin is worth after somebody does that. It's called pump and dump is what I'm talking about here. And what they do is they buy a bunch of Bitcoin, the price instantly goes up, and in it instantly going up, you have all the little guys that jump on and say, okay, it's time to buy because the price is going up. And as that price hikes up, it's hiking up, it's hiking up, all of a sudden some big investor sells. That leads to what we call a bear market, where it's going down and down and down until once again it is pumped by some major investor who raises the price again. So my thoughts on this, and maybe I'm wrong about this, is that it would seem as though it's a game, and the people who are going to benefit from the game are the people who are already really rich. There may be some people who bought in early and, you know, capitalized on the massive peak last December. But I think by and large, most of the people who have bought in have probably lost out, especially the people who bought high at that time. They're the ones who got screwed the most, because now the price is half of that. And it goes up and it goes down. It may keep going up if media keeps... All it takes for the price of Bitcoin to go up is for mainstream media to say, hey, everybody's investing in this new Bitcoin thing. Everybody goes, throws a bunch of money in Bitcoin, the price goes up, and then the people who are holding the most Bitcoin sell, and then the price plummets. And then all those people who pumped all their money into it, you know, they're the ones who lose. So it's a zero-sum game where there's winners, there's losers. It's not like the stock market where rising tides raise all ships. It's, you know, one ship rises, the other sinks. That's how it works. And you see all these guys on YouTube, they act as though they're like these market analysts, when really it's all hocus pocus. It's voodoo. In fact, there's a guy on there, there's so many of these crypto YouTubers coming out, and I watch them because I'm trying to figure out what this whole cryptocurrency thing is all about. I understand it's blockchain, decentralized currency. I understand the technical aspects of it and how it's mined and things of that nature. For most of the cryptocurrencies, there's Ripple, which is kind of different, which is probably, realistically, even though it's part of the establishment, it may well be the only stable one from here on in. But it's hard to say that. That's, you know, it's totally unfounded. I might even edit this part out of the video because it's something I haven't reached a conclusion on yet with respect to Ripple. So there's these guys who go on there and they look at the trends in the up down, and really that's all it is. It goes up, it goes down, and they spend an hour acting as though they're these, trained economists who are analyzing a stock price or something like that, when it's really just, okay, people bought, people sold, people bought, people sold. It's gambling. You can go into a casino, you can drop $1,000, bet it on red, you have a 49% chance of winning. And that's what Bitcoin is at this point. That's what most cryptocurrencies are at this point. It's a get-rich-quick scheme. Now, I'm not saying you can't get rich. You can go let it all ride on red, and there's a 49% chance that you're going to double your money. But there's a slightly greater chance that you're going to lose, and the house always wins. In the house, in this case, I believe it's the big investors. Because think about it. If you can pump $1 million into Bitcoin, and at the end of the night, pull it out as a 1,100,000, because the price of Bitcoin, I mean, it's varying by up to 10, even 20% a day in some cases. So you can buy an immense amount when it's a bit lower, and you could sell it that night and increase your profits 20%. So I don't know if there's spending limits. Maybe somebody can enlighten me on this, to how much you can buy at once. But I think in order for Bitcoin to ever really be taken seriously and not be so easily manipulated, there has to be some sort of serious limits on how much of it you can buy at a given time. Because if somebody can just go in there, buy millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, even if they're using 10, 20 different accounts, because I know on a lot of the currency exchanges online, there are limits to how much you can buy at once, but that's just for the common man. I'm sure there's ways that you can buy a lot more at once. And the thing that bothers me is that you have all these. So that's a big concern for me, that not everybody wins at Bitcoin. Yes, there's marginal profits to be had, but as far as I know, when you invest in Bitcoin, you're not really getting any of those profits necessarily from the transactions. I don't really know how that part of it works with respect to the currency exchanges, with respect to using Bitcoin for transactions, who gets those profits. But is it if you put money in it, can you make a lot of money in a day? Sure. You put $1,000 in, by the time midnight rolls around, it might be worth $1,100, $1,200, or it might be worth $700. It's really hit or miss. Now, it's worth experimenting in, I think. I think it's worth, if you have a couple $100 to spare, go experiment with some of these cryptocurrencies so you can get a sense of what I'm talking about. That way, you're not losing big, and obviously you're not going to be gaining too big either, unless you buy in one of these, smaller coins. Like, for instance, I just, for, and giggles, pick myself up some Dogecoin. If you don't know what Dogecoin is, it's the meme, the dog, just stupid internet stuff, right? Just for the hell of it, just to see, like what's this all about. And it moves up and down. It's nothing drastic. There are some cryptocurrencies you can buy right now, which are fractions of a cent, and those are the ones that people are always banking on booming. And the problem with it is kind of a Ponzi scheme, because all it takes for the price to go up is a bunch of people to put money in the pot. So here's what it is. It's like a game of musical chairs, okay? Or what's another metaphor you can use? Everybody takes their money, they put it in the pot, and the more money that people are putting in the pot, the more money that's in there to be had. And if you wait long enough, the money keeps piling up and piling up and piling up. It's like a cumulative jackpot, a progressive jackpot. But once one person pulls out, they retract their money out of that bin, then the price immediately starts to go down. And then if somebody else starts to panic and they pull their money, well, it creates this domino effect. And so it's just boom, bust, and then occasionally you'll get a media plug, so it's boom, 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 and then you'll get more investors pumping it full, and then they all dump it, and then it just dips. It's It's gambling. It's not serious investing. It's very typical of our instant gratification society. I mean, if you were to invest in a stock like Amazon 10 years ago, you would have probably at least increased your earnings. Your investment would have paid off about 1,000%. You would have made 10 times the amount of money that you made today. If you would have invested in Bitcoin, 5 years ago, like just have, a few Bitcoin, like 100 Bitcoin, if you would have bought it when it was not even a cent a Bitcoin, I mean, you would be a multimillionaire. You would have increased your earnings hundreds of thousands of percentile points. And that's the civilization we're living in. This is the times we're living in right now, where we want to just make money fast. Nobody thinks about the long game. And you can make money fast if you go to the casino. But you can also lose it really fast. And that's the difference between the stock market, which is, in my opinion, it's actually really investing in companies, investing in innovation, in different, production, raw materials, how those materials are manufactured. You're actually investing in a tangible thing. Whereas the only tangible aspect of cryptocurrency is its ability as a medium of exchange, which in my opinion is totally overblown. There's way too many cryptocurrencies for it to be practical. At the end, there's going to be one or two. It's going to be like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover, whoever the hell uses Discover. But it's going to be that in the end. There's going to be 3 or 4 major ones. Who knows who it's going to be? It could be one that isn't even here now. And that's where people get all excited, because you never know which the next one is going to be. It could be one of the ones that are already moving up, like Litecoin, Ethereum. There's talk about Neo. And there's so many. There's so many cryptocurrencies. And there's some of you who know a lot more about this than I do. But this is the problem too, is that there's a lot of know-it-alls with the cryptocurrency thing who I think they get so enwrapped in that world of things that they think it's more systematic and rule-based than it actually is, when it really it's so random that it's really all based on manipulation. It's based on hype and hysteria, and something like that, it's a gamble, man. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Now, yes, you can make a calculated guess when you say that, well, Ripple is making all these contracts with these various banks and these companies, and Ripple isn't a decentralized thing. It's different, and therefore maybe there's potential for that to grow in the future. You could actually make an informed decision on the basis of those things. And there are some people who are partaking in it like that, but I think the overwhelming majority of people are just pumping and dumping. So I would exercise caution. Certainly don't use your non-disposable income or your essential income on cryptocurrency, because it may just be one more way that wealth gets concentrated at the top. Because in a system like that's so easily manipulated, where you can immediately buy something and right after you buy it, the value of that thing goes up, you dump it, who loses? The people who are buying in as you're exiting. So if you ask me, it's I would be very skeptical, because nothing is free in this world. That's something people need to understand. After all the hype passes with this whole Bitcoin thing in a few years, people will remember that nothing is free. Money just doesn't come out of nowhere. When you make money off Bitcoin, you basically just won that money from somebody else who was playing the same game that you did. You won, they lost. That's all there is to it. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Don't worry, we got a lot of prepping videos coming up, but to me this is kind of related to preparedness and survival, because it's to do with the economy. It's to do with potential for economic disaster. Like it or not, if you don't have money, you can't survive. But let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Canadian Prepper out.